Hey guys, I hope you're having an amazing day. If you take a look around, you might know for a fact that the dating landscape has changed significantly. Back in the day, you were single, engaged, or married. But nowadays, there's a kind of fourth state called situationship. Well, there might be another one we could call multiple situationships ratations. Most men used to want to find a good woman, but once feminism came through, it's hard to come across a woman like that. You see, with Instagram, and dating apps, women have easy access to attention and validation, which in turn makes them highly insufferable and undateable. They only serve as a practice, but you're bound to get played, treated as an option and the like. The quality of romantic relationships has decreased a lot in the last couple decades, and to be fair, not many are really happy about this. They might brag about it, but the reality is that some hookups here and there are not the greatest way to build a fulfilling life.
Brittany, just one thing. You mentioned that you think people should try to reintroduce some romance into...
Yeah, I think it's been sucked out of the life of everyone. This whole thing of the terminal men versus women war has just sucked the romance out of everything, and everyone's just very low trust, and it's very sad to see. And I really wish that romance is brought back, because as we've taken it out, we have all these very undefined relationships, and people are unhappy about it, and everyone's just having to settle for so little because the bar is just so low. And
Stop the cap! The bar is not low. The bar for the majority of men is unreachable. Women don't believe in actual romance. They believe in rom-com. They want Prince Charming to come swoop them off their feet. Most of these women want flowers on first dates, receive text messages first thing in the morning, show her off on social media, and get a bunch of likes. This is what they call romance. They don't want to sit down at a table and talk over a homemade meal, then sit on the edge of a bed and silently watch Netflix and chill.
Yeah, boy.
The pressure still is on the man to be romantic. Men are just for the most part sick of it all. We aren't appreciated. Chivalry has been killed by women.
it's really sad for both genders.
Can you clarify or maybe expand on what you mean, though, by romance? What does that look like?
Like two people who genuinely like each other and want to commit to each other and are only into each other.
Okay. Because when I think of romance, I tend to think of perhaps like romantic overtures, such as, for example, buying girl flowers,
Those are nice
paying
too.
for
Those
the
are
first date.
pleasantries, I suppose,
Yeah.
but it's the foundation that really matters too.
Okay.
Those are symptoms. That comes after you have a good foundation, right?
Okay, so more like actual genuine liking of the person versus perhaps the transaction, I think things tend to be looked at almost in a transactional way, whereas like what can this person provide, whether it's finances, whether it's, whatever it may be.
And that's not to say that men should therefore date ugly, unattractive women that they're not attracted to, and women should date men that they're not attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, for example, if you want children, there needs to be money there in order for you to raise the children. So,
Sure.
like, looks and being able to provide for a family certainly do matter, but it has become a lot more transactional.
Chris Rock said it best.
The world's cold as a motherfucker, okay? Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something, okay? I've never heard a woman in my life say, after he got laid off, we got so much closer.
And I think that's what's given to the rise to things like OnlyFans and why so many guys and girls are buying into it. And it's sort of like this parasocial thing.
Do you think people
And I
have
don't think it's very
OnlyFans
romantic.
because there's not enough romance?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
I think that with the rise of relationships becoming more and more vague, like at the beginning of the show, for example, he was like, whether you're in a situationship, this or that, and it's like 10 different labels instead of just like dating or committal boyfriend, girlfriend, etc.
So if you think that was more clear, people wouldn't get on OnlyFans and make money?
Sounds like that struck a nerve. If the fact she didn't have her cleavage on display like that wasn't obvious, she does OnlyFans. It is now. She is just fighting so hard to justify her existence. If there was more romance and no such things as situationships, and modern dating wasn't a massive mess, OnlyFans would not be as big.
I think that OnlyFans is happening due to the fact that, for example, because most of the customers are guys, even though there are some girls. And so I think that they're using that as a replacement for sex.
This is really simple. Guys currently are either sexless or even virgins for the most part. While most girls are shared by a minority of men, the majority of men have it hard to find a woman to their liking. You know for a fact that social media has played a massive role in this mental shift, so men have to work a lot harder to get women that are mostly worse than women back in the day. This is known as hoflation. Nowadays, due to feminism and other related ideologies, women who do of and even brag about how liberated they are praised and glorified. While many dudes would ulvo to bang these women, only a few stupid ones would put a ring on it.
In the same vein as... And I don't think it's good for either party overall.
Like Japan's probably
and it affects
a decent
children
example.
too. Yeah, Japan too.
What do you mean? Like porn affects children or OnlyFans?
Well, you could also make the argument if men were getting romance or getting sex from women, that there would not be such a market for...
There's no point rationalizing any of this. OnlyFans workers don't care that their profession is harming men. They don't even like men. They wouldn't suck their resources off them like a parasite if they did. All they care about is making easy money. Anything to not have to get a real job.
Market for... OnlyFans.
Like upwards of 90% of men watch porn, and upwards of 90% of men are single. I mean, a lot of normal people with relationships or jobs, like normal people are on OnlyFans, normal people watch porn.
But that might be contributing to why they're single.
Yeah, because if you can certainly watch this porn every day, like why would you work out? Why would you work on your career? Why would you do all that stuff that you can just get on your computer?
Well, the majority of people that watch porn, like that work out also, they're not working out because they're on OnlyFans. But I don't think that's...
Just because that one person, like there's people that do, it doesn't mean that there also aren't like a lot of people who don't, because pornography exists, because it's there and so easily available.
So are you just saying that, or is there some like statistical evidence for this? Is this just what you feel?
You can't make this shit up. Just a minute ago, she was making up bullshit figures saying 90% this and that without backing the stats up. When he contradicts her, she says, "Where's your data or references?" Make it make sense. She is trying to justify it, but the reality is, porn addiction is a real thing, and it's usually single men or men that don't have access to sex that struggle. A lot of men use porn as medicine to treat their loneliness. Men in relationships that subscribe to are usually unhappy in the relationship, or they don't get sex much. As we know, most marriages are sexless.
Like I said, you can look at societies like Japan, where they have this massive price. There's a huge industry in Japan. Like every single part of the relationship is compartmentalized, where people are going to like, men can go to strip clubs, women can go to like host clubs, which is like the male version of that. It just doesn't seem to be
and
like
you think that's the reason that Japan is like that? Because I mean, like Europe is super open with sex. We're kind of uptight here in the U.S. And like, are you seeing that countries that watch more porn, you're seeing more of this?
It's that mixed in with the lack of connection, especially things like, without violating TOS, people being less connected because of COVID, people getting on Discord conversations and having friends through that versus having actual real friends, and people kind of compartmentalizing
So social media in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you mix that in with lack of social skills, which is kind of a pretty prevalent problem in Japan, like we're getting a lot of that here. So,
but do you think that, like, are you saying that you think the majority of men on OnlyFans don't have social skills?
Yes. Wow. She is coping so hard, defending OnlyFans to the death. Any man that subscribes to OnlyFans is a simp. No ifs, no buts. The idea of paying for the lifestyle of women such as this one that grows up to be entitled when you don't even get any action is mind-boggling, especially when there's free porn available.
Like, are you saying that porn in particular, OnlyFans in particular, is different than all these other forms of social media that's making people less connected? You think OnlyFans and porn in particular is an issue?
I'm thinking it's all kind of mixed in together as like maybe people should move a little bit more away from it. You know, maybe like if all of your friends are on Discord, maybe check your life a little bit.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you.
If you're on the computer all day, if you're not a content creator and you're on the computer all day, maybe check yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I have something to add on to that. So I think that it's all of it as well, but it's specifically with fans as the nature of any other pornography, it's a replacement for sex. So I think in that specific area is what it's replacing. So instead of like maybe going and trying to get a girlfriend or a committal relationship, they might turn to OnlyFans, and I think that's why it's become so popular too. And versus other social media, let's say Discord, that would be more like a way of replacing friendship.
I don't know why people think it's like a replacement for sex. I don't think if people watch, they're like, oh, I don't ever want to see a real woman naked. I don't think.
Well, men get
I don't know where
ED from it, though.
Modern women gaslight all the time. Let's check some comments. If any of these women had to chase men and were rejected the majority of times like men are, then they'd actually have an insight into what's happening. Glib statements telling men to improve themselves or leveling up are just that, glib statements. Women really have to put zero effort into attracting men. Be upright and have a pulse is usually all it takes. I'm tired of this, the bar is so low rhetoric from women. The bar is insanely high, if you're not Chad or Tyrone. The bar is low if you are the best looking men. You can treat women terribly, not have a job, not have a car, ghost for weeks and months at a time. She'll complain, she'll cry, she'll tell everyone that will listen that he's trash. However, she wouldn't hesitate to go to any lengths to tie him down. When we see women state, a man must insert whatever, it's almost always a list that gives her reason to rationalize using and discarding a non-Chad/Tyrone. She didn't use you for a free dinner or emotional tampon. You just didn't meet her extensive list of standards that are required for anyone not Chad Tyrone. It's not an addiction, then in the same sentence, they turn to it again and again and again. That's literally the definition of addiction. At the end of the day, the rise of and the simp economy as a whole is proof of the decay of society. Nowadays, almost anything can be marketed to get profit. It looks like dealing is bad, but marketing your own body online is okay, if not glorified. Men would be happy to marry a good woman, but the reality is that most women support the ideas of female liberation, feminism, and the whole list. It's literally insane.
6,000.
For what?
It was a. This sounds so.
Hold on, Eric. Hide the chats just while she says
So
this.
is okay. Actually, this is good because it shows a part of my thing. But basically, it was a I don't know, long time customer or whatever, and it was a care package of like different used underwear, shoes, and socks. But it was basically what he wanted in specific was the I could find. So like my gym shoes from or
okay, so you're gonna yell at guys who are like 50 guys just being attracted to 20 years as being pedophiles, but would you not just say you are like engaging in pedophilic?
Yeah, they're still gonna be. He's gonna ask the next
fantasy.
bitch. I can make $6,000.
So
he's gonna just go ask girl to girl.
Do not shame. I just can't.
Don't shame pedophiles. No, I'll continue to shame.
Don't.
She's basically saying it's bad to be a pervy pedophile, but if you are one, I will support you. That's insane, honestly. That's like yelling at crackheads for doing crack, but then selling them crack.
Shame guys for being attracted to 21-year-olds, like no matter their age, and engage in like pedophilic fantasies. Bro, you can't tell me like,
please
that's
just
not
stop.
hypocritical.
Just stop.
In Japan, you can buy used female underwear, which is disgusting, but it looks like when an American woman does the same thing, it's all good. $6,000 for a bunch of used clothing is insane. The funny thing is that she even says that she was able to make that money, so she didn't reject the opportunity.
Did you give him the stuff? Did you give him the stuff?
What?
Yeah, I mailed it to him.
You fucking indulged his pedophilic fantasies, and then
Do
you're
you not
shaming men for doing
understand
that. You supported the industry.
Sorry.
You supported it.
I could respect it if you want to shame 50-year-olds for being into 20-year-olds, but don't sell your.
Okay, so you let me talk. You let me talk. So you're telling me that guy wouldn't have just gone from girl to girl to girl asking when I could have made the $6,000? He's gonna just.
I don't know what's more delusional, the fact she is trying to argue this, or the fact in her head she is a hero.
Make it from another fucking bitch. Why can't I make the $6,000? I needed the fucking money. Sorry, I was broke and poor and want fucking $6,000.
You can, but you're criticizing. Oh, there's all these fucking men out here that
criticizing men
want
for being
this.
You're
criticizing all these men out here who want this shit, but you're supporting
Did you
it.
forget? Did you forget he wanted my shoes from grade? Yeah,
no, I heard that.
Yeah.
Did you give it to him?
Why are you giving
Did you give it to him?
What the
yeah, for
you supported it.
$6,000.
You have no room to criticize this.
As you can see, it's all good in her opinion because she was able to make easy money, but she refuses to say that she supported the whole pervy thing. At the end of the day, the money is your vote, and if women allow men to purchase these things, they're also part of the goddamn crime.
You supported it. Do it from anybody else.
You perpetuated this. You fed into it.
So you know what you sound like right now? You sound like the people who go out and
Someone
they're like,
who just caught you on your bullshit.
Can I finish?
Gotcha, bitch.
Can you please let me finish?
Someone who just
Can you let me finish? Can you let me finish? You guys sound like the people who go out to eat and they're like, oh, I'm not going to tip because I don't believe in tipping culture and how people need to get paid for their wages, so I'm not going to tip.
So ridiculous.
I'm going to make the money.
So
if somebody wants to be a pedophile on my dime, then so.
This amazes me. Women perpetuate all these things, but put the blame on pervs. There are a bunch of pervs out there, but using them for financial profit shouldn't be okay. In fact, when a man uses a woman sexually and then dumps her, everyone goes fucking insane. And guess what? Kiko is a teacher, so if you ever find out where she works, I mean a school, not a strip club, don't ever take your kids there.
I'm gonna make $6 off my shoes, so hopefully he doesn't grab some random off the street. Maybe who knows?
Vindicated.
It could have been my shoes versus him going to
Underwear.
They were under shoes, to clarify, but yes.
Yeah.
You could have told him, no, this is wrong. I'm not going to do it.
If somebody was like, if you can send me your old beat up Nikes in the back of your closet for $1,500, you're going to say no?
You're saying your morality has a price. That's what you're telling me.
It's nothing about being moral.
Yeah,
it's
no. You said is wrong. You said it's wrong that men are attracted to that.
Hold on.
But once they're willing to pay money, you're down.
In my morality complex.
You're down to compromise.
In my morality complex, it would be wrong of me if I had that request from somebody and I went and I stole my little cousin's shoes or my little sister's shoes or something. They were my own belongings. If I want to sell my own belongings, it's just like people like Bella Delphine or whatever her fucking name is, those other ones who take advantage of the men who are weirdos out there. Go her. She's taking advantage of all the guys who are so fucking weird in this world that she's getting paid for it.
Hold on. I want to respond to
me or her stopping doing what we're doing isn't going to make files go away. It's just gonna make them go on maybe an unsuspecting field or somebody else. At least maybe now, since I gave him my shoes, he's gonna have to go harass an actual
You're doing God's work out there.
Good job. Are literally, I swear to God, I can't wait to come back to my job. Yeah, come back on. Don't go to back to.
So hold on.
Whatever they do for financial gain seems to be okay. If she really needed the money, why didn't she have a job in the first place? Men know for a fact that if they're broke in a first world country, it's their fault. But women can get away with anything. Stupidity at its finest. Let's check some comments. That's probably the lowest value woman I've ever seen in my life. Like bottom feeder stuff. She sounds like parents who let their kids drink underage because, oh, but at least they're doing it at home. I never bought her bullshit about criticizing men being attracted to 21-year-olds. I don't think she ever had a problem with it morally. She was just mad that men prefer younger women over older women who have hit the wall, because as soon as someone offered her a lot of money, her morality went straight out the window, which tells me it was never real to begin with. The loss of morals, dignity, and self-respect is summed up in Purple's words, how humans justify their life choices and lifestyle. Money and pleasure is what individuals like this woman desire, at all cost. I pray they find change to better their souls. So her justification for her doing it is that others will do it and make money from it, so why not her? I can't begin to start with this psychopathic logic. Being more concerned about other people's profits rather than your own self-respect and dignity is fucking shocking. Then tries to make out she is doing other girls a favor by her being the one to indulge a pedo, because she thinks what? After her it would stop? This is one disgusting human being, and I hope people nail her with this every time she goes on a podcast. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content, like subscribe and comment. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.